Ilia Topuria just knocked out Max Holloway in the third round at UFC 308, and he's my new favorite fighter. Now, he was already pretty close to being my new favorite. He was top three already after beating Volkanovski. Now, Volkanovski was already one of my favorite fighters, but it's just different. It's different now. He's got a different level of cockiness, which he backs up with his fighting style and the boxing as well, the ferocity, the head movement as well. He was bobbing in and out of Max Holloway's jabs, and he even showed a knee in the second round, I believe. Max Holloway, I'm talking about, and that was really something else because it was actually not just the fact that he knocked out Max Holloway, which has never been done before. We all know that. But it was also the fact that he did it so viciously. And it was, I heard someone else say this, I can't quite recall who, but it was like the Alex Pereira Jamal Hill knockout, where it was like the hammer fists put out the Max Holloway. It wasn't like he was out for a while as well, like the Jamal Hill fight. Um, but yeah, crazy. I mean, I did not expect that result. Like, wow. I just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, other than he's my new favorite fighter. I don't get the hate for Ilia Topuria. People are now getting around to enjoying Ilia Topuria's fight style and his personality and such. But there was so many Max Holloway fans going into this, and so many people just picking Holloway because he's everyone's favorite fighter practically. But I don't get it. Like all he said in the promotion was, "We're gonna find out October 26th," and that is just like boring. I don't know what else to say to about that, other than it's boring because that's what it was. It was just boring. And then Ilia Topuria was actually trying to make it exciting. Now, sure, you could say that it was obviously a lot of it was faked or staged or it was reading off of a script or something. But okay, most people that read lines, or no, most people that say lines that are like trash talk, they don't come up with it on the spot unless it's just a bunch of swears like Conor McGregor. Most of that was probably real back in the day because you could tell that he was not really coming up with specific lines like Chael Sonnen, for example. Chael Sonnen had a lot of prepared lines, you could definitely tell. But McGregor was mostly using a lot of slurs and swears, and he still does that to this day. A lot of his is more off the top of his head, but Ilia Topuria is more of a Chael Sonnen type. You could tell with his trash talk, but wow, I mean, it's just I think that it was crazy that he backed it up all even in the first 10 seconds of the fight. He pointed down like the Chama, Alex Pereira after the Jamal Hill. Lots of parallels to the Jamal Hill fight, Jamal Hill Alex Pereira fight, honestly. And he was doing that instead of showing that he knocked out Max Holloway. It was a point to the ground. It was a, you want to brawl? Let's do it. But Max Holloway was smart in not engaging, obviously, but that is a big L. That is a massive, massive L. That is very cowardice of the BMF, right? To just back away from that. Just back away from the brawl when you engaged in that in your last fight. Now I understand he thinks that Topuria wasn't he wasn't worthy of it, but I mean he proved that he was. He was the better boxer. He now Max Holloway did mix things up more. He tried a lot of kicks. I'm surprised I didn't see the spinning kick as much. Maybe he thought that Ilia Topuria would try and capitalize on that by taking the back. But yeah, I'm still just like at the performance. Like And Ilia Topuria represents the sport so well. He really is like the most exciting fighter right now, the fighter of the year. I don't think that goes to Alex Pereira. I was watching the MMA Guru talk about how Alex Pereira doesn't deserve the fighter of the year because it's between him and Ilia Topuria. It's Alex Pereira or Ilia Topuria, and I agree with MMA Guru. I think that it's gotta be either Alex Pereira or Ilia Topuria, and it's Ilia Topuria because of the fact that he had Alex Volkanovski and Max Holloway, and not just the fact that he just had those two names on his resume. It's that he finished them and knocked them out. It was like out cold almost for Holloway, and clearly out cold for Volkanovski. So I don't know how you could make an argument against that, to be honest. Like, yes, the schedule is impressive for Alex Pereira, but if you look at the people that he's fought, I mean, it's just not that impressive when you keep in mind that Alex Pereira fought Jamal Hill coming off of a injury. It was a short notice fight for Yuri, and Khalil didn't deserve it, if we're being completely honest. And now that we see that Magomed actually won his fight against Alexander Rakic in the same event as well, we see that that was not deserving. Now, it was a good fight, but it was not deserving for Khalil Roundtree to earn that shot off of Anthony Smith. And now, hopefully, he will get the actual test in Magomed Ankalaev. But back to my point, it's pretty clear. It's just two all-time greats in the sport in my top 10 of greatest fighters of all time, and still in the top 10 pound for pound. Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. The fact that he knocked them out, it's just a different caliber. It truly is. And yeah, I think that Ilia Topuria beats most of the other contenders until he is too old, perhaps. But he even said that he would retire at 32. So who knows how long we'll have him as a UFC fighter. I mean, we just gotta appreciate it, I think. And I've been seeing a lot of these other YouTubers mention that as well. Like, we're actually realizing Ilia Topuria's special potential here. He might not be a double champ or triple champ. He might not. But as a featherweight, he is probably the best that we will ever see, at least for quite some time. And yeah, I'm just excited to see him next. I think that he promotes the fight better than Max Holloway. People were saying, "Oh, what was it?" They were saying like, "Oh, well, how can you root against Max Holloway?" Or, "Oh, how can you be happy that he got knocked out?" Well, it's because he's boring, and Ilia Topuria was actually hyping up the fight. Like, pretty simple. Don't need to explain much, you know. But yeah, and that's all I have to say on that. But I do have a Tapology page. Mask of MMA is what it's called, and it was gonna be Masked MMA, but that name was already taken. So yes, that is it.